Hi there everyone, this is Kelly Gettelfinger with Always Stampin' Videos. You can visit my blog, alwaysstampin.com. Today I'm going to show you how to make your very own StORi, S-T-O-R-I. I'm seeing a lot of chatter right now. The trend is the travel notebooks, and the official name is called Midori or My Dory or Dories. So I decided to make my own version and save a little bit of money, and I'm gonna call them my StORis, S-T-O-R-I. This is my Illustrated Faith StORi, and it measures 5 inches by 8.5 inches. You just use an 8.5 by 11 inch piece of cardstock, and I've got Stampin' Up! Designer Series paper in there. Yeah, and it's a great little travel notebook. I can take my pictures in, I can take receipts or memorabilia, tickets, things like that, and then journal however I want to. So yeah, let's get started and I'll show you how to make it. You can make your very own StORi. You're going to need a piece of cardstock that measures 8.5 by 11. You'll need 6 pieces of Designer Series paper that measure 8 inches by 10 inches. And when you trim down the Designer Series paper, it usually comes 12 by 12. You'll come out with these fun strips, 2 inches by 12 inches, and you can trim some of those down to pieces that measure 2 inches by 5 inches, and I'll show you what to do with those in just a little bit. And then you'll also have some of these strips that measure 4 inches by 8 inches, and we'll use those too. Okay, you're also going to need, let's see, at least 6 pieces of typing paper that measures 8 inches by 11 inches. And you might need some more, depending on how many pieces of journaling paper that you want. I consider that my journaling paper. All right, so the first thing we're going to do is fold our cardstock right in half. All right, so I'm not really concerned about the crease on this. Sometimes when you just fold cardstock, it will get some funky folds there at the crease. I'm not really worried about it because we're going to turn this into a book, and hopefully you're going to wear it out by using it, so those creases aren't going to matter. So I am going to flatten that down with a bone folder and set that aside. And then I'm going to fold every single one of my Designer Series paper pieces. Here's the deal. I'm going to fold those 2 at a time to try to speed things up a little bit. And sorry, I could have had this done before the video, so you're gonna have to watch me do this, sorry. I find that when you use the score tool to score your pieces, they sometimes don't match up as nicely as when you fold them yourself. And then I'm also going to fold all 6 pieces of my typing paper. And so I've already done that. And then we're going to bring in the 4 by 8 inch pieces. And we're going to fold those also. And like I said, I'll just do 2 at a time so that it saves a little bit of time. I like to get them nice and flat with the bone folder. There we go, one more. All right, there we have it. Okay, so now you're going to bring back in your cardstock. And here's the hardest part, deciding which patterns you want to go first. This is really, no kidding, a hard part for me. So I think I like that one first. And then I've got 2 pieces here. I'm going to just keep them together. And I'm going to add 2 pieces of typing paper. Let's see here. Do I like that? Or do I like that? I do like that, I think. What about these? That's hard. Wow, that's really hard. I think I like those better. And I like those better. Yes, definitely. All right. And then I'm going to end with my typing paper. No? Yes. All right. Now, we're going to try and get these. Oops, do I not have that trimmed down? I didn't have those trimmed down. Hold on. So sorry. I need to trim these down just a bit. Okay. And now the trick is to get these all lined up nice and neat. And I'm just going to center my pages in my cover. And then I'm going to add some clips. Ooh, that was noisy. I'm going to add some clips to my notebook to try to hold all of my papers in place. I'm going to open it up, lay it nice and flat, and then clip it. Alright, that's easier said than done when you're allowing thousands of people watch you do it. Okay, I think that's good enough. Alright, so then I'm going to bring in my punch piece of foam from Stampin' Up! And I'm going to staple the seam of my book. And so I've got an alligator stapler that opens all the way up, and I'm going to measure 2 inches from each end and just pencil mark. That's where my staples are going to go. I'm going to lightly put a staple in each area and hope that it goes in pretty well. Now, you're going through a lot of pieces of paper and cardstock, so I kind of want to add 3 staples to this particular notebook. Okay, so then when I bring it back around, my staples are straight up and down, and I can take my bone folder and just flatten those down. Look how nice that is. I love it. And this is pretty much, these 6 pieces of designer series paper and 6 pieces of typing paper is pretty much as full as I can get this particular book with these staples. Now you can buy staples that are a little bit longer, and you can have a few more pages in there, but I'm also going to show you how to add some more pages. All right, so initially our StORi notebook is complete, and so I will just take my bone folder and flatten that down nicely. There we go, and I'm going to do that on both sides, and then I'll decide which side looks nicer for my cover, for my front. Okay. Now, you're also going to need a piece of elastic that measures 12 inches, a colored rubber band, and a straw. Okay, so that one, I hope that doesn't blend in too well. There you go. Just a decorative straw, fun straw. All right, your piece of elastic is going to feed through your straw. There we go. And then you're going to bring that, just stretch it and bring it around. Whoa. Okay, that's not working. Okay, so let me show you what I did with my Illustrated Faith. Okay, so I cut 3 straws because I wanted 3 patterns, and I fed the elastic through the straws. And so I'm actually going to just snip this one in the center, and I think that's going to, well, maybe I'll do 3. I'm going to eyeball it. There we go. And then I'm going to trim just a little bit off of each one. I think that'll give my elastic a little more ability to stretch. Okay. So feed each one of those in. Okay. And then I'm going to, yeah, there we go. That helps. All right, so then I'm going to just tie this in a knot about 1 inch or so from the end. And just tighten it up. Now, if you want, you can trim that down, or here's what you're going to do. You're just going to put your knot into one of the straws, and then look what happens. That disappears, and you have the ability to stretch that over the seam of your notebook. And then you don't see that knot once it's on your notebook. Okay. Now, what I like to do with mine is rough up the edges, because like I said, I'm going to use this. I'm going to go places with it, and I'm going to use it. So, and as you can see, I'm going to try to get a little closer to the camera. As you can see here, it kind of bunches up the edges in the corner anyway. So by just roughing up the edges, helps that to blend in a little bit. Yeah. Okay, so I would do that all the way around. And just be careful if you're using your scissors like I did. Okay, and so then we're going to add our pieces of extra pieces of typing paper. And I don't think I have these trimmed down just yet, so let me check that real quick. Yep, they're trimmed. Okay, so here is how you add those to the center. Whoops, I missed 2 pages. Let's get those over there. All right. So I'm going to bring in a couple of the scrap pieces of Designer Series paper that we trimmed, and I'm going to feed those right under the elastic. How cool is that? And then I'm going to feed in 1 piece of my typing paper. And so I can just keep adding and adding and adding to my StORi notebook whenever I want to. And then I've got a couple more pieces of Designer Series paper. There we go. How cool, right? And then 1 more piece here. Okay, and then remember those little pieces that we trimmed down to 2 inches by 5 inches? Those pieces can be added with some adhesive. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to match up patterns. I kind of like that. Yeah, I do like that. Okay, so I'm going to put 1 on top, 1 on the bottom. Alright, so let me show you this one. On 1 piece, I'm only going to put adhesive on the 2 smaller edges. And then on the other piece, I'm going to put adhesive along the 2 smaller edges and 1 of the long edges. Alright, so there we go. Bring your notebook back in and pick a page that you want to add a pocket. So I think I would like to add a pocket to this one. And so I'm lightly going to put on the one at the bottom first, so that I can kind of lift the edges and stick, because I want this to go on the bottom side. I want it to go this way. Alright, so now you have a fun pocket that you can add tickets and memorabilia and whatever else that you might want to add to your notebook. How cool, right? Then you're just going to bring in your colored rubber band and you're done. Cool. So there you have it. That's my version of my Dory, and I call it my StORi notebook. Thanks for watching. Have a creative day.